Hey everyone, welcome to our weekly team call. My name is Lauren Kaliski, for those of you that don't know me, and I am so excited because I haven't hosted a team call in a while, and I think this is going to be a really good one because I've just been really diving into personal growth lately and just trying to continue evolving and growing as a person, as a coach. And that's led to a lot of really great breakthroughs for me. And I had the opportunity to hang out with Shaun T at his house for like the entire day and just like learn from him and be surrounded by my coach, Angie Green, and other teammates. And anytime you're able to tap into the collective energy in person, it's like, there's a buzz. There's like a serious, I don't like this light on my face. There's a serious energy shift that happens when you are able to take this from the online world, which is amazing and allows us to all connect and support each other on a daily basis. But something powerful happens when you get yourself to events, whether it's like a group workout, Super Saturdays, qualifying for retreats, summit, of course, like the Success Club trips. Getting to these things really does make a difference because, I've been doing this for a while and I have highs and lows just like everyone else. The only reason I'm like successful and still here is because I keep going no matter what. I don't let the lows let me throw in the towel or give up or anything like that. So tonight we are going to dive into some real talk. If you've read, I'm just curious, I'm going to go to the gallery view really quick. Raise your hand if you've read Shaun T's book, T is for Transformation. Okay. So a couple of the things that Shaun talks about a lot in his book are truth bombs, which is kind of his thing. He shares a lot of truth bombs and his superpowers. So tonight we are going to talk about some business truth bombs, some things that maybe you need to hear, maybe you want to hear, and maybe you don't want to hear, but you need to, right? And we're also going to tap into finding what your superpower is and owning that superpower and changing the world with your superpower, because the thing is, you don't need to be good at everything. You don't need to be, this multi-talented person, but when you can really own in on what your superpowers are and share those relentlessly and bless the world with your gifts, that is where you're going to find the magic. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive into it. Feel free to talk to me in the chat box as I'm talking. I try to look at it periodically and ask questions. And I'll save some time at the end for Q&A as well. Okay. So truth bomb number 1. You guys ready for it? Type in the chat box if you are ready to get this party started and you're ready to hear some real talk, because this is totally unfiltered. If you have kids, maybe put your headphones in because it's unfiltered completely. Truth bomb number 1, other people's opinions will never, ever pay your bills. Please give me an example of where someone's opinion paid your bills, because there isn't one. And so why are you letting other people's opinions stop you from sharing this gift that you have to offer with the world? What you have is a gift. Chances are it's probably already changed your life. I'd love to know how it's changed your life, even if it's not monetarily, chances are it's changed your life in one way or another, which makes it a gift. It has the power to change people's lives. Being a part of this community has the power to change someone's life, whether they earn $1 or not, because having positive, uplifting, supportive people that think differently and support your crazy dreams, that can be revolutionary for so many people, because we don't really have enough of that type of support and community in our lives. We are constantly, our society trains us to be like dog eat dog, like competition. Who can be better? Who can be better than this person? Which that's not what we're about. We're about collectively empowering each other to be our best. And that to me is life-changing. So why are you letting other people's opinions of what you're doing, whether it's with your health and fitness journey or the business you're trying to create or that you are creating, why are you letting that stop you? And like Rachel Hollis says, frankly, their opinions are none of your goddamn business. So stop caring what other people think. Stop seeking outside approval, outside validation. It doesn't matter how many likes you get on a post. It doesn't matter how many comments I put out posts, call to actions, and it feels like ghost town. It does not matter. Trust and believe, which I'm going to say a lot today, is trust and believe that the right eyes are going to see that post, whether they engage with you or not, and keep sharing your message, your gift relentlessly, okay? And I want you to, instead of seeking other people's approval, I want you to do one thing every single day that makes you super proud of you. Make yourself proud, because honestly, that's going to be the best feeling. Other people's validation is going to come and go. Sometimes you might have it, other times you may not. And so if we rely on other people's validation to feel good, we're never going to feel good about ourselves, or at least not consistently. We can feel good about ourselves by making ourselves proud, doing something scary every single day, getting outside our comfort zone on a daily basis. And when you do these things, whether it is something small, like messaging someone that you've been scared to message, or posting a photo that you've been scared to post, or sharing a part of your story that you think others are going to judge you or not accept you for, whatever that thing is, once you do it, and every single day, I want you to congratulate yourself. Like, give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself some love, okay? Because it's not easy to do these things. And like, we really do have to be our own cheerleaders sometimes. And also, feel free to share any of these scary things that you're doing with the team, in the team page. Today, I posted my income, which is really scary, not because... just because it's not something people talk about. It's just scary to put yourself out there in such a vulnerable way and to share something that's so personal that our society doesn't really talk about. But I shared it because I want to inspire you. I want to inspire all the people that are on this team to stick it out, to be here in 5 years and 10 years from now. I want to inspire all the people that haven't joined us to see that there is legitimate potential here. And even if it's not something income related, like, just get outside your comfort zone in some small way. That was a really big thing for me today. And it was just like ripping a Band-Aid. You know, once you do it, it's over with. And I just put my phone away and walked away from it and went on with my day. Okay. So that's my first truth bomb. Other people's opinions are never going to pay your bills. Stop caring. Stop. Let it go. Let it go. Okay. Marley. I'm outside, so he might be barking. Truth bomb number 2, social media is bullshit unless you are being 100% true to who you are. If you are looking at other coaches' posts and trying to basically taking their words and reusing them as your own, that is not authentic to you. It is okay to follow coaches. It is okay to take inspiration from coaches, but really, I unfollow a lot of people. Anyone that makes me question myself, feel bad about myself, make me feel like I'm not enough, make me feel like I'm not a good coach, unfollow. I don't need to see other people's words because I want to speak from the heart, okay? And I want you to speak from the heart. And like I said, it's okay to take inspiration from other people, but stop. Borrowed words are for the birds. I think Chalene Johnson said that last year at Summit, and it's so true. Sean T hit on this as well. He's like, I see coaches copying each other. Why are we copying each other? That's not authentic. I get that we're looking for inspiration. I get that we're trying to find our words, right? But the best thing that I can empower you to do is to journal more, is to listen to personal development, is to tap into how you're truly feeling and just practice writing about it more. And, you know, I'm not saying like if you see someone's post that was really good, you can do something like it, but make sure it's your words, your post, and authentically you. Otherwise, it's bullshit. Okay? If you have to sit there and think about what to post, if you're forcing a post, don't post. I'm giving you permission to not post. Don't do it. Instead, when you're feeling like you have to force something, like you have to post for some reason, you really need to tune into yourself and figure out what is on your heart today. Like I said, we're going to go back to a few key things: listening to personal development, journaling, working out. This will give you some authentic inspiration from inside to share what is on your heart, okay? And I hear a lot of people say, well, I don't have anything to share. My day-to-day is really boring. My life isn't interesting like yours. You know, I'm with my kids all day. I'm at work. I can't really post when I'm at work. I'm just at my cubicle eating out of a Tupperware every day, like whatever. They think their life is the same day to day. And the truth is, your life is not the same day to day. Even if you're going through the same daily actions, how do you feel day to day? Because I don't know about you, but for me, I feel differently every single day. Some days I'm feeling on top of the world. Other days I'm not. And so the day-to-day is not really the same, right? It is so much an internal thing, right? What is going on inside of you? And connect to those feelings and how you handle those feelings, how you push through them, how do you get yourself to get off the couch or get moving on the days where you had a really long day. Marley, hey, Marley. He's like right next to me and just totally ignoring me. Marley, stop barking, please. Okay, so those things are really going to help you come up with authentic content, okay? How do you overcome your struggles? How do you show up on the days where you don't really want to? Is it the community? Is it your coach? Marley, is the dog barking distracting to you guys? Can you type in the chat box and let me know? Is it? Should I go inside? No, it's okay. Okay, I'm just gonna ignore it then. I'm seeing Jeannie shake her head. So let me know. Okay. It's just distracting me. So I'm gonna ignore it. It's a good challenge. So you really wanna you wanna make people ask how, why? How does she do that? Why is she doing that? What is she doing? You want to make people ask questions about what you are doing. So don't feel like you need to tell people, oh, I'm doing this new Lift 4 program. Like, no, talk about things the way you're doing them. I'm doing this new 40-day program. It gives me 3 rest days. I love it. I can be active and do other things that I love in addition to getting amazing results with my at-home workouts and lifting and feeling super strong and badass, whatever it is, okay? And you really want, like I said, you want to make people ask questions. What, how, why? What, how, why? How many people can say me too to your struggles, okay? How can we use me too in a positive way? I mean, not that me too isn't positive, but really empowering people with me too to see that they can overcome whatever their struggles are as well by you having the courage and the vulnerability to share whatever yours are, okay? And you know, for me, I'm feeling really good. Like June was a hard month for me. July, I've been really getting my mojo back because I've been tuning in and like doing the self work, and that's how I've gotten my mojo back. And basically, it's been hard for me to share kind of what I'm walking through because I didn't have the upswing yet. I didn't have the how to overcome it. I hadn't overcame anything yet. I was wallowing in it. I was deep in it. And for me, I think it's all about how you share things. And I'm not saying you can't share things while you're in the midst of it. And more power to you if you have the courage and the vulnerability to do that. That's something I struggle with. I have to have the upswing. I have to have the how did I get through this so that I can help other people get through it too. I'm not really looking for sympathy or support. I really just want, I mean, maybe I do want support in the fact of when we share our vulnerabilities, we're less alone, right? I don't want to feel alone, but we all struggle. We all have highs and lows. And so it's all about how you share those things. It's about how you deliver the message. I see sometimes people like being really honest, which is great, but they don't have that upswing there. So it's kind of like venting on social media if you're just being honest and you don't deliver the message with some sort of positivity attached to it, okay? So couple tips directly from Shaun T about how and what to post on social media. He kind of said some things that, you know, like, I'm tired of seeing the same posts. Like, I don't want to see the same posts in my newsfeed multiple times. That's weird. So this is how and what to post so that you're not just regurgitating other people's words or copying what other people are doing. Like I said before, make people ask questions. Send people to your story. Your story is where you can really open up about things. And Gabby, I've seen you doing this in some of your posts, so shout out to you. She's like, more information over in my story. Like, that's awesome. That's exactly what we want to be doing, is sending people to your story to learn more about your challenge group, the workout program you're doing, to learn about Shakeology, to learn about coaching, to learn about whatever the heck is going on in your day, to learn how you're overcoming your struggles, to see some really delicious, awesome recipe. I don't know. Send people to your story. Don't ever sell on your newsfeed. Like, even challenge groups, like you got to, in coaching, like your call to actions need to not be salesy. You have to make sure that there is like some inspiration, some bigger purpose behind that. And if you are going to sell on your story like that. This is your place to, your lifers are watching that. The people that are really connecting to you, the people that really care about what you're up to are watching your story. And those are the people that need to, those call to actions more. So be relentless in your call to actions on your story. Daily call to action on your story. You really can't do it too much. I mean, I guess like posting 5 polls in a day would be too much. But I have been, oh my gosh, like my flow has gotten so much easier. I put up a story, I put a poll, all the people that my poll options are always something where I'm going to reach out to them where it's like, yes, I'm in, or maybe I'm kind of skeptical. Like I never give them the no option. So everyone that responds to the poll, I am messaging. And all I do is I go through the poll and I send them a quick 15-second video message. You guys, I've heard Emma talk about this so much, and it took me so long before I actually gave it a try. And I'll tell you what made me start doing video messages. Someone that I look up to, someone that I follow for inspiration, I DM'd him and he video messaged me back. And I got those little, woo! I was like, oh, wow, he's real. And so that reminded me how powerful video messages are versus DMs. Get over your damn self and do video messages. I promise. Some people will even respond to you in video messages. Some people will be like, oh my God, you're real. Like, it's like so funny, the different reactions that I get, but it's such a quick and easy process. They respond to my poll. I send them a video DM. And then I'm setting up phone calls with people, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the call. Okay, where am I at? Constantly reinvent yourself. It's okay to change. It's okay to evolve. You do not need to be the same person that you were a year ago or a month ago. Allow yourself the permission and the space to continue evolving, to continuing growing, and to share that journey with people as well. Only post what you are passionate about, okay? Don't force things. Don't force things. So if you got to force a post about Shakeology, don't post about it on your feed. Maybe you just post a daily Shakeology on your story. Really simple. Whatever it is, okay? Stop forcing things. I'm not saying not to do things. I'm not saying not to get outside your comfort zone. But when you drink Shakeology every day, when you feel the difference that it makes in your body, for me, I've gotten my cycle back, which is huge. And like even after miscarrying, my cycle was irregular again. I was drinking Shakeology every day and my cycle's regular. Like it works over and over and over again in regulating your system, regulating your hormones, whatever. So I've felt the difference of what Shakeology can make. So I can passionately talk about it. But if you're not drinking it, if you're not using the programs, if you're not using the products, it's not authentic. You're probably not passionate about it. You're forcing it. Okay? Honesty goes a long way. Practice radical honesty. Practice sharing your truth. Okay? Don't be afraid of what others might think. Don't be the white noise in the newsfeed. When you're honest and truthful, trust me, people are going to connect to that. They're going to relate to it, and you won't be the white noise. Now, if you're copying other people's posts, you are white noise. Relate the products to real life, like I just did there with Shakeology. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Relate the products to your real life and how it's helped you. Okay? You guys ready for truth bomb number 3? Let's do it. Okay, truth bomb. Rejection and failure does not mean you should quit. It means you're learning. Congratulations, because learning is what this is about. I have been learning every single day. If you are not having rejection, if you're not having failure, you're not learning. You're not putting yourself out there. You're not trying, okay? So how do you stay, everyone is going to experience rejection and failure. Okay, I just want to disclaim that. Every successful coach, every successful person that you see online via social media, whether they share that rejection and failure or not, trust me, to get where they are today, they have faced that and they haven't let it stop them. Okay, so how do you stay consistent despite constant rejection and failure? Well, first of all, remember, you're learning. So this is look for the lesson and then ask yourself, so what? So what? It doesn't matter. It's okay. It happens to all of us. Remind yourself that. I have failed so many times. I've had challenge groups flop. I've not hit Success Club. I've had so many different failures. I've dropped rank. I've had coaches quit. I've had people bitch me out. I have made content and videos that I was copying other people and it wasn't authentic to me. I've done it all. I have done it all. Okay. Focus on how you can help other people be successful. How can you help other people be successful in their health and fitness journey? How can you help people be successful in their business? Okay. Focus on who you can empower versus your rejection and your failure. Okay. Because that's just an inevitable part of the pathway to success. Okay. Let people get to know who you are. And when you face rejection, let's use the example of like you invite someone to your challenge group, they say no, not right now, or whatever their excuse is. And you're like, okay, let me know if you ever want to join one of my groups in the future. So you leave the door open, but then like you were liking all of their content before, you were maybe DMing them, and then all of a sudden you just ghost them. You just stop talking to them. You stop courting them. You stop trying to date them. You just walk away. Even if you said the door was open, if you don't continue showing up, if you don't continue proving to that person that you truly care, then you just proved them right? Like, I don't want people to just join my challenge group. That is not the goal. I'm not just looking for some Success Club points. I don't want people just in my groups. I want to help people change their lives, right? And that is a bigger commitment than just joining a 21-day challenge group, right? And it is okay for people to say no. Now, you cannot, we live in this, sorry, I'm trying to find the right words here, but like we live in this instant gratification society. And so you can't just, when you don't get that instant gratification, be like, oh, okay, on to the next one. Like, no, that's not how this works, okay? It might be an instant gratification society, but this is not an instant gratification business, okay? This is a long-term business. This is a legacy that you can build and give to your family. You can will this business to your children someday. I want you to be thinking that long-term, and that really opened up my vision when I thought of things like that. And I want you to realize there's so much power in the old school way of connecting with people. So, we live in a Tinder society. We live in a Bumble, social media, instant gratification, likes, comments, swipe this way, swipe that way society. The old school way is always going to be best. And Sean talked about this, and he talked about his grandparents and how his grandparents back in the day, like they didn't have social media, obvi. And so they sent each other letters back and forth and like would have to wait weeks for the letters to come in. And it was like, oh, and they got the letter and they wrote a letter back. And it was like this courtship, right? And don't lose sight in how powerful that old school way is. Date people, court them. This business is all about relationships, which is why it is so important to build relationships and to build real relationships. Capitalize the real relationships. People that you actually want in your life. People that you actually want to be friends with. Stop hiding behind your phone. Stop hiding behind your computer screen. Get on the phone with people. Get on Zoom with people. Get on FaceTime with people. It is so much more powerful. I could go back and forth with someone via email, via DM, which one takes a lot of time. They may or may not respond because we're all living busy lives. Like I have a busy life. They have a busy life. They may see my email and forget to respond to it. I may get a ton of emails and get behind on my emails, whatever the case is, right? So although getting on the phone with people might seem like, oh, it's more time, it's really not, because it simplifies the process so much. Okay. So just like video messages, if you're not getting on the phone with people right now, I want to challenge you to do this. Okay. My process, like I said, is really, really simple. Someone responds to the poll, I send them a video message. If I have an application, I'll send them to the application to learn a little bit more about them and to collect their phone number. in my application and asks for their phone number. And then I send them a voice message via text. I don't even send a text message. The first message they get from me is my voice. And I'm doing that for challenge groups. I'm doing that for coaches. It's all the same to me. And I send them a voice message thanking them for taking the time to fill out the application, thanking them for connecting. I'll relate back to a part of their story, and then I'll schedule a phone call to chat more. I'm not even going back and forth via text that much because I just want to get on the phone. I want to get to know them. I want to build that relationship. I want to build that trust. I want to build that face-to-face time, and I want to learn how I can help. And that's how I'm building real relationships. That's how I'm getting deeper with people than just social media messages or emails back and forth. Do you still request emails? No, I do not request emails. Application, DM, that's the best way to get a hold of me. And I don't even email people. I text them. I get on the phone with them. Works better for me. I find I get more responses faster, and people are more serious when they do respond. Okay? So build those relationships with your customers, with your prospects, with your coaches. Go on coffee dates. Give people your one-on-one time. It will make a huge difference, because let me tell you, my most successful coaches are the ones that I have strong relationships with, real relationships with, the ones where we're there for them, or I'm there for them. It doesn't, whether it's related to business or not. Okay. So a good way to start practicing this, and Shawn Achor talked about this, and I'm curious who's taken the challenge. Shawn Achor talked about this at Summit. Who's doing the 2-minute messages every morning? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Raise your hand if you're doing 2-minute messages. Okay, so I want to challenge you guys all to start doing 2-minute messages. Shawn talked about this at Summit, so if you were at Summit and you're not doing it yet, come on, let's go. So all it takes is, I have an alarm on my phone. It's at 9:15 a.m., which is like right when I'm like getting into my work mode. And it says, send someone a love note. Okay, and so I send a challenger, a coach, a family member, a friend, like it doesn't have to be related to business. I just send them a voice message, 2 minutes or less, and just ask how they are. Just check in on them. And you guys, if you're doing challenger or coach check-ins, I want to share something powerful with you that Shawn talked about. So I think a lot of times as coaches, we get into the coach role. We're like, hey, I'm a coach. I'm going to be a coach. I'm going to do coach things. So we message people and we're like, hey, how's everything going with your business? Hey, how's everything going with your workouts? How's Lift Forward going? No. There's nothing wrong with that. But what happens if you check in on a coach who's not working their business and, hey, how's everything going with their business? And they're not working it. Then they're immediately in the guilt and the shame mode. They're like, gosh, I suck. I'm not working my business. I'm not doing anything right now. Like, they may not even respond to you. Same thing with your challenger. If you check in on your challenger, like, how the workout's going, and they're not doing the workouts, they're going to be like, wow, I'm a failure. I suck. So instead, just shift it. It's a subtle shift that's super powerful. Hey, how are you today? How's everything going? How's life? What's new? Just ask them how they are, human to human. And trust me, they'll tell you how the workouts are going. They'll tell you that they're not doing it. But it's coming from a place of, they're like, oh, thank you so much for reaching out and caring about me. Let me tell you what's been happening. Or with a business, same thing, right? That will give them space to tell you what's been happening. And trust me, they'll come clean and and share what's been really going on. But it's a different conversation, and you're not coming from that place of shame or guilt. And we don't want to make people feel shameful or guilty for falling off track with their own health and fitness or with their business, because we're all human and it will happen to the best of us at some point or another. Trust me, if it hasn't happened to you yet, just wait. Okay. So I really want to encourage you guys to add that action item to your like daily to-do list ASAP. Check in with one person a day, personally message them with a voice message, 2 minutes or less, or it could be an email, but I really like the voice messages. I've been getting like really great responses from everyone that I've sent them to. Super powerful. It takes 2 minutes a day. Everyone can do that. Okay. Truth bomb. Transformation is a feeling. Whoa. When Shaun T said that, like my whole body got chills, and I was like, yes. Because I have been so hard on myself for maybe not having the best or the biggest physical transformation in recent times. That doesn't mean I haven't been putting in the work. That doesn't mean I haven't been doing the things, but maybe your body or whatever isn't transforming, or you can't see the transformation happening. But when you realize that transformation is a feeling, that can happen day to day, moment to moment, and you have the power to share that transformation always. You don't need to wait till you finish a program. You don't need to wait until you have a before and after. Please, please, please share more than before and afters. Talk more about the mental transformations, the transformations that are happening inside of you, the things that you're doing that you wouldn't have done a month ago or a year ago. Those transformations are really powerful, because chances are you are getting outside your comfort zone and you're doing all these things. Whether you've lost any weight or not is kind of irrelevant. You are transforming because you're showing up for yourself and you're doing something good for yourself on a daily basis. And there is so much power in that. So share your struggles and how you are overcoming them. And realize that your struggles can be so empowering. The more struggles you have, the stronger you can be. And another really powerful quote from Shaun T was, "Perfection is temporary. Stop trying to be perfect. It is a temporary show that you are putting up. Change is constant. So embrace change. Your body's going to be changing. Your mind's going to be changing. Your business is going to be changing. Social media is going to be changing. It's all going to be changing, and none of us are perfect. We're all imperfectly perfect, okay? Trust and believe that you can do this, because you can. You can. If I can do this, so can you, okay? Truth bomb. Anytime you feel stuck, remind yourself that you are not a tree. You're not a tree. You've got legs. You can do something about this. You're never stuck. Plateaus will happen in your personal journey and in your business, okay? This is bound to happen. Just give it some time if it hasn't happened yet. If you're feeling bored, if you're feeling uninspired, if you're feeling stuck, give yourself permission to recharge. Give yourself time off. You don't need to post 7 days a week on social media. The world will keep spinning. Your business will keep growing. I promise. You do need to be consistent over the long haul, but you won't be consistent over the long haul if you burn yourself out and you don't take the time to reconnect and recharge. So recharge and reconnect to your purpose. Now, when I say take time off, it should be really purposeful. You should be doing things that are going to fill your cup back up. You should really be pouring into yourself, into whatever you're struggling with, into listening to, personal development for this season. Maybe that means you close one book and you open another. But really tune into what it is that your mind, body, and soul is asking for. And maybe that is permission to step away from social media for a day or for a week. The world will keep spinning. Your business will be just fine. Stop trying to force things. Nothing good happens when you force it, I promise. And ask yourself, what do I need to do right now to make this work for me? How can I cultivate the joy? What about this business or what about this journey do I love? Do more of those things. Dig deep into you and who you are and what your soul is craving and asking for. And recognize that this is not a race. Trust me, the people that are getting to 15-star diamond in a year or whatever is happening, this is not a race. It is a marathon. I'm not saying there's not power in those things, but recognition should not be the reason that you're going for something. You can do things and be recognized for them, and that's great, but I question when we are just solely recognition driven, when we're seeking that outside approval and validation. Where is that coming from? This is not a race, it's a marathon. You need to be here 10 years from now. Who's going to be here 10 years from now? I'm going to be here 10 years from now, and I sure as heck hope you'll be here with me. And now this is the thing. You guys, I don't know where we've gotten so kind of disconnected, but one of the most classic stories that we are told or shared is, what's the word? One of the most classic stories that we hear as children is the story of the tortoise and the hare, right? Who heard the tortoise and the hare when they were a kid, right? Okay, the tortoise and the hare is a great analogy for almost every area of life. Who wins? Who wins? The tortoise or the hare? It's not the hare. The tortoise wins. It's okay to go at your own pace. It's okay to run your marathon. It's okay to run your race. Your journey probably won't look like anyone else's. Your income progression won't look like anyone else's. Your story isn't going to look like anyone else's because you're you. Be you. Run your race. And realize that as long as you're here and as long as you're doing the work, that is where you're going to have a super successful business, okay? When you feel drained, one of the most powerful things you can do, instead of disconnecting from the community, instead of being like, oh, I'm going to go hide, I'm going to pretend no one sees me. When you feel drained, phone a friend. Who is your business bestie? Get on FaceTime with them. I promise you, I always feel better after, even if I'm having a hard day, I get on the phone with someone that I love and trust and can be super, super honest with. And I tell them everything that's going on inside my head, in my life. And I instantly feel recharged and reconnected. So do not disconnect from the community when you're feeling stuck or when you're at a low point. Tap into this collective energy, okay? There's so much energy here that you can be a part of and tap into. If you're stuck in a negative headspace, listen to something that won't allow you to think. A podcast, personal development. I know I'm being really redundant with a lot of this stuff, but the simple stuff is what we're often neglecting. The daily personal development, just like brushing our teeth, the owning who we are and sharing our truth, not copying other people. All of these things, they're little things that make a huge difference, okay? My last truth bomb for you guys is to build a sustainable 6-figure business, or even $1,000 a week, you need to constantly be building your team. You can't do this alone. I can't do this alone. You can't do this alone. And I'm listening to Big Potential right now, amongst a few other books. That's Sean Akers' book. And the whole entire book is about how we're so much stronger and better and happier and more successful when we do things collectively, when we do things as a tribe, versus our society kind of conditions us from a very, very early age to want to be the best. We need to be the brightest, the biggest star. We need to win the trophies. We need to be honor roll at school. There's all these things where we're recognizing the individual. It's really not about the individual. It's about the collective tribe. It's about the team. Okay. So to build a sustainable 6-figure business, you have to constantly be building your team. This never, ever stops. And I want you to know that, because what I see is a lot of people, they get to Emerald or they get to Diamond, and then they're like, okay, yay, I made it. I'm Diamond. I'm going to be earning 6 figures. This is great. And then the money never rolls in. They're like, oh, this isn't so great, because you have to keep doing the work. You have to. And it comes back to one of my favorite analogies, which is the train analogy. So basically, you are the conductor of a train. Your train is going to Success City, right? Your train is going there. Whether or not people want to come with you, it's going to the destination, Success City. Now, this train, it keeps going, but it makes stops, right? It makes stops every so often. Some people get off, aka coaches quit. Other people get on. I promise you, people get on and off all the time, right? It's not you. It has nothing to do with you. So if you see coaches coming and going, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay as long as your train keeps going to where the destination is. Now, if your train stops when someone gets off, well, then now we're all stopped and stuck and not going anywhere, right? Because you're the conductor of the train, which means you need to lead the train and keep going whether things get hard or not, okay? So our power is not in being the top ranked coach or the highest rank in the company or receiving all this recognition from Beachbody. Our power lies in the ability to light each other up and to empower each other. I could care less about myself being recognized. I want to see my coaches be recognized, because that's a sign that I've empowered them. And not from any place of driven to recognition because they want to be the best or seen or that outside approval, but recognized because they're doing all of the right things, because it aligns with their purpose, it aligns with their passion, they're doing it anyway. The recognition is just the cherry on top, okay? You must constantly be building, because people will quit, and it has nothing to do with you. I think it's really important for everyone to know that, because I talk to my coaches all the time and they're like, oh, so-and-so quit, so-and-so this. And you know what? It always stings. It always stings, even for me. There's that moment of, wow, like I saw the potential in that person. They could have gone really far with this. What happened? Where did I go wrong? I just try to take ownership for people's failures. But the reality is, we are not responsible for anyone's success. You are responsible for your success, and we are not responsible for anyone's failures either. Okay? So that is pretty much everything that I have got for you guys tonight. I want you to brainstorm, and really, this is your homework from this call. I want you to brainstorm and think about, what is your superpower? What is your gift that you can share with the world? What does that look like? For me, it's believing in myself so that I can also in turn believe in others. I can't believe in others unless I believe in myself. But I so wholeheartedly believe in myself and know that I can accomplish anything that I put my mind to, and nothing will stop me. And because I have that belief in me, I can also have that type of belief in others. So what is your superpower, and how can you serve the world with that superpower? So my superpower is believing in myself, and I serve the world by believing in others. Okay? And then also set an alarm on your phone to check in with one person a day or to send them a love note. Okay? Really easy thing. It'll make a world of difference in your relationships. And that's pretty much everything I've got. If anyone has any questions, feel free to type in the chat box. Thank you so much for being here. Don't go anywhere, because I will do a post-call giveaway, and we'll take a group photo as well. Any questions? Anything? It doesn't have to be related. It could be about something business. It could be about the call. It could be about Shaun T. It could be about, I don't know, anything. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording there. If you're watching the recording, thank you so much. And if you have any questions, just post on the team page.